I think for me, the best thing about living in community is just the support that it provides, especially being in a new place, doing new things, to know that you have people who care about you and will be there for you when you come home is a really good feeling. And I think also throughout the year, I've become more aware that I'm someone who I wouldn't say I'm extroverted, but I need time around people to kind of function well and to feel like myself, and kind of living with other people is a great way to kind of have that in my life.
The best thing about living in community has to stem from a moment in which I shared in Compline. When, when a community member asked me, why is it important for Christians to live in community, especially those who are seeking a greater understanding of Christ? And I responded to him and I told him, living in community allows us to understand who we are with our differences. There's nothing for us to hide in who we are because we exist, and we exist in our identity that is, I would want to say it's something of a fusion concept. Within this fusion concept, our differences are still present and our individuality as a community is present. For example, in a nation where race is such an issue of tension, as we clearly see, within this community, we learn to live and not be in fear of speaking about topics such as race, sexuality, and orientation, and yet we are still united under the umbrella of an intentional community.
For me, the best thing about living in community at St. Hilda's house is the fact that we have such a rejuvenating, safe place to come to at the end of the day. The work I do and my housemates do is incredibly stressful. It's fulfilling, but it can get really heavy at times, and it's really a great gift that we have this place to come home to at the end of the day, where I can vent and get advice, or I can hear a housemate vent and give them advice, or we could just sit around and say nothing and watch a movie and be in each other's presence at the end of the day to get refilled as it was at the end of a long day.
It's really been great to just come home to find your friends there, you know? It's work can be tough, you know, the jobs that St. Hilda's House interns do are demanding, but to know that I can come home every night to people who care about me, to people who I really like and who I want to live with and who share my values, share my spirituality, has been incredibly valuable. I know I'll miss it when I leave, even though I'm going into like a dorm setting, so there'll be people around, but it's just different to have people, you know, some of your best friends in the house with you. So it's to know that you're going to come home and you're going to be supported, and that you're going to, you know, share in this life together, because it really is a life together, lived in community.
Two things probably. First, being able to spend a really long amount of time with people who just have such different viewpoints and approaches to things to me, which has really like taught me new ways of thinking, new ways of approaching things, new ways of being with people, and I really think, well, I hope, made me a better and more loving person. And two, how important every aspect of life is. So like even the downtime, the prayer, the meals, how important it is to like be intentional and be loving in all of that, to really be with people. Yeah.